Good morning. I don't know if you're hearing that sound in the background, like that there are people who are willing to cut grass in the storm, but it is what it is. Of all kinds of us. Good morning. Let's start with some music, grab a coffee, and see you in a few. Hi, Onyx. Are you going to join us today? Huh, mister? Huh, mister? Hi, pussycat. Hi, Jasper. I have three cats on the table. No kitty kitty. No kitty kitty. Good morning, everybody. How is everybody doing? Thank you guys for joining me. I didn't know if today would happen, given that it was like this Fiona hurricane going around. So, we got lucky. Apparently, it was some mess in the middle of the night because it was 4 hours out. But when I got up, I just had to restart my computer, set all these clocks that were off, and I was good. And it is a little bit stormy outside, but otherwise, like we really got pretty much unscratched so far. 3 times knocking, right? Morning, Kylie. Good morning, Barbie. Good morning, Lynn. Good morning, Knitting Yogi, who was first, and Kelsey. And so basically, we are coming to the monthlies. And yesterday, I was like so tired. And I just decided, you know what, I'm going to spend the day basically just doing nothing because I'm so obsessive about my French and I'm spending so many hours with this. So I kind of like figure, like, you know what, let's give myself a break. So I just saw my neighbor wanted to wave hi and ask him if he wants my monstera plant. Get rid of my plants and just I'm not a plant person indoors. I know it's kind of popular, it just doesn't work for me. And he said he has the same problem. And we started chatting. He said, you know what? Because of the storm, you have to really remove everything from the deck, everything that can fly. That was a big, big job. So he did help me, but after that, I couldn't lift the freaking pencil. And I'm still feeling that same way. I'm still feeling kind of like squished. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm going to do 6 signs today, and I am going to do 6 signs the next week, which is the first. So we are like officially in Libra season, guys. So that season is really good for the other air signs. It's very interesting for Aries. It can be both good and bad. It's usually karmic when you go through that period. Aries might experience very low energy, very low everything, maybe high in aggression kind of a thing. And we are still going for another week through Mercury retrograde, which was vicious for me. How is your retrograde going on? Bonjour Lynn, ça va bien ici et toi? Ça va bien? So yeah, like I mean, the fall is happening here officially. There is so far no sign of Indian summer. So sucks. This place is like so amazing betrayals for that stuff. So we have the sunshine tomorrow, and I think I'm going to spend most of the day soaking up, because then again we are going back to rain. So let's start, guys. Like I mean, Barbie is running the show, but also Knitting Yogi is putting the stamps. So I want to give her the stamp timing from my end. And so basically I'm going to try to give you the real one, not the one that I see, which I think it's about 30 seconds delay. So we are going to start with Libra, and I'm also going to apply the same system. It's going to be only 1 doors, because it's going to be only 6 signs, with the other 6 coming up next week. And so I guess it helps me not to completely be exhausted the whole kind of like weekend. And I have a big freaking French homework I have to finish, and I still didn't start. So Libra is first. Whoever guesses, I'm going to bundle it up with the doors that come at the end. I'm going to write it down here. So guys, just stay tuned. Let's see how you guys are feeling. Kyle is also tired. Mercury retrograde is kicking butt. I really have to tell you, last week, and don't think much of me like that I have a cleaning lady. It's just like, I kind of like, I'm a mediocre cleaner. This is not to say poor. I kind of like things clean, but they're like not freaking brilliant. You know that like crispy clean when you walk into the luxury hotel, or at least you see the pictures? I love that, but I was never able to achieve it. So I found this woman who actually work in those, like I mean, top, like I mean, hotels, like 5 stars or even 6 stars. And whenever she comes, my place becomes like almost like staged, right? It's freaking amazing, from how she makes the beds to how she leaves the toilet paper with the roses in the ends and stuff. It's amazing. And she's supposed to come every 3 weeks to every month. Kind of like, houses have the way of going bad, right? So I just like felt if somebody maintains this house properly, like I mean, it's always going to stay. So this woman haven't been here in 6 months, and so she finally quote unquote returned from her trip. And so she just texted me, my car broke down. And then my French teacher, she said, my internet is falling apart. A friend of mine, oh my God. Like, I mean, my lawsuit, like the person forgot it. She didn't file it. What do I do now? I'm out of time. It's just like really, really bad all around. So, Lorna, look at you. Like, you guys are still on 95. We are actually today on 34. It's like, it's windy, it's cold. I have my heater going on. I just left it on. I think it's actually too hot. And it is too hot because I just left it overnight. I didn't know if you're going to stay out of electricity. I wanted to just give myself a head start, and so on and so forth. So good morning, Jenny, and let's start. Libra, happy birthday to you, and the stamp is 1010 over here for Libra. And let's see, because this is your exchange. This is my original ascendant. I have lots of Libra, kind of like justice warrior, etc. So I am using for the monthlies Cat Tarot deck, and I'm going to today use Karma deck instead of Gypsies, um, just to shuffle it a little bit, just to see what it is. So it's 3 cards plus 1. Ooh, and there we are. Ooh, guys, you're very much feeling grounded like in this period. So October is bringing some really interesting messages. This is very much Libra. There is like this, what do I do? Which way do I go about it? How do I go about it? So you have Earth Kitten, you have Two of Sky, and you have Nine of Earth. So let me translate. So this would be Page of Pentacles, this will be Two of Swords, and this will be Nine of Pentacles. And so this is this ultimate curiosity over here about strangers and foreigners. Like I can see very strong earth element over here, as you all probably can see. But it's also kind of like really interesting. Maybe you are encountering somebody. Well, hello. Maybe you encounter somebody, because look at here. Like the kitty cat is, what is this? Is this a porcupine? I guess it is. Unless it's, I think it's even a better word for it. And let me see how it would be without the light. This light is just not the happiest to kind of like to have over here. I have to find something that diffuses better, but when it's dark, then I just am afraid it's going to go too dark. We'll see now. Hello, Savvy. Hello. Hello. I keep calling her Osk. Osk was another cat that I had. It's not bad actually. Osk is another cat, and she was also very small. I don't know why I'm interchanging two of them. I have a feeling that Oski's spirit is around me, and it's a really good feeling. Oski was Aries, very protective kitty, and very loving kitty. So anyway, look at this, guys. Look at this exploration over here between two different species, and there's a peace, and there's like genuine curiosity over here. I like purple here, which shows higher ideals, right, Safi girl? And which shows kind of like openness, really. And there is a mushroom, which is also kind of like health. Fungi are one of the healthiest foods we can actually consume on this planet, and they don't even really need sun to kind of like really grow. And then from this meeting of somebody, I'm seeing this. Look at it. It's kind of like, do I really want to go on the top with this person? And there's like this doubt, and there's like this feeling, and we see this crescent moon over here, and just storms, just like here, like the winds are strong and swaying trees over here. So I'm just wondering if this is the same process over here, and then a decision, you know, I am just fine as I am, and I just really don't know. This card is actually very similar in meaning to this one. It really talks, like, you know, these karma cards, they're talking through stories. And so the story is basically about a woman who kind of like has this, you know, boyfriend, and she's wondering if her decision to leave her boyfriend is the one decision that she should kind of like go forward. I also like to take very long walks when I really need to reach a decision. And I really have to tell you, many times these decisions were wrong, so just don't swear by those long walks. So anyway, she has another man waiting in the wings, which also could indicate this over here. You know, and so she keeps climbing this mountain and keeps climbing and keeps being in her thoughts, not realizing how far she kind of like went. So she reaches the summit, and all of a sudden this fog clears. So at this stage, she sees the full perspective. She sees the town very kind of like far in the distance, just realizing how far she went, right? So now she has realized that she has kind of like reached all different heights, and how, you know, she was just going back and forth between the two. So she kind of like knows what to do. She's very clear in her mind, and she's going now home to reclaim her love. I don't recall them saying which one it is. Is it the old? Is it new? But this is this confusion over here. And since it's a crescent moon, it's talking about something that is possibly at inception, and it, to me, it would really signify the new relationship would really kind of like go forward. Because there's like intrigueness over here, there's this confusion. This is really interesting because at one point you guys are also thinking, you know what, I'm actually better to be on my own, right? So it's going to be some level of confusion, which is very normal for your sign. Like Libra is always trying to stay in balance. Barbie, it's just kind of like always out of balance, always trying to balance it. This is the karma of Libra, and they're trying to balance everything around us. And if you guys think Libra is very cutie and softy because they're like always relationshipy, remember, they're air sign. They're just very, very camouflaged. They can pull that freaking mask and show you the teeth. Be very, very careful. Like they can go very, very far, kind of like move mountains, right? So you need to allow this confusion. You need to allow this process of thinking, of clarifying things for yourself. You're going to have also spiritual support, I feel very strongly. It is your birthday month, so treat yourself over here. Maybe you're finding that you're doing same old, same old. I don't know why I'm picking this up. And maybe you're even celebrating your birthday alone. And this is not a bad thing. This is actually a really good thing. So you're not falling into any kind of like mediocrity. You're actually getting some, I would say, revelations kind of a thing. So let go of trying to get immediate outcome, and you're going to do really well. Just, keep putting one foot in front of another. So there we go. Smoke and mirrors, Yogi says. I was supposed to put this sign here because this is after all monthlies. Sorry, Libra, I forgot. The birthday sign over here I will do for the next. So let's see, to catch up with you guys. Hedgehog, right? Okay. Hello, Anita. Who else joined us? And who else do I see here? Jenny, I think acknowledged. Why do I not see Anita? Like, was she in? I just don't see it. But, okay, it is what it is. So you guys are guessing. I'm seeing a Scorpio over here. Jacket season. Jenny, I went yesterday to buy a jacket, and it was just, like, amazing. Or the day before. I think the day before. And I found the jacket was, like, $230. It was just Mark's Warehouse, nothing really special, just to walk the dog. And I thought, like, do I really want to spend this much money on it, right? And I said, well, I need something for this transition. And this transition in Canada doesn't last very long, 2 weeks or 3 weeks at the most. And as I walked, I saw winter coats on sale, like really parkas that like $400, $450 range. In few colors, like the green, very nice green. And some weird blue. I like blue, and a really weird purple, which I also like regularly, but it was just something mauve, deadly. Were on sale, so I got a winter coat for $47. That was a really, really steal. So let's see who is next here, ladies and gentlemen. Who is going to get this? Ooh, we are getting Capricorn. Did anybody guess? No? I see Anita over here. So Capricorn would go next, and I'm putting for your guesses over here. So the sign, let's put Capricorn here before I forget. And the stamp for you, Yogi, is 1930. Will be for Capricorn. I'm trying to write it on here for me, but it's my rocket book keeps being a little bit greasy. So Capricorns. Oh my gosh, I just watched yesterday on Instagram a whole bunch of goats. The guy's using goats, and he says he used from 6 to 70 goats to bring them to people's gardens, and so they basically just clean the weed. It was just amazing. Everybody's benefiting out of it. They get different things, and look at freaking the cutest things to kind of like watch. So you guys, you have the repeat. Ooh, something showed up here. So you have 9 of Earth, you have 8 of Sea, and I love this 8 of Sea. And we have major, and not any major. We have the tower here showing up. So let me see which karma card. 47. I know. It just you cannot kill that deal, right? It's okay. You know what? I don't need full jacket. I'm going to survive. But let's go with some kind of like winter. I have so many parkas. I don't have anything that is really really long. So this one is like all the way down to the cuffs. So where I live, guys, it's very cold. It gets very, very cold. So I figured this might be beneficial. So Capricorns, again, you're like opening this whole thing with earth element. And I feel this is going to be a part of your September. This end of September is going to be very earthy, very much self-oriented, but in a good way, you know, kind of like, what do I need to take care of myself? Do you need a massage? Do you need a pedicure? Do I need a manicure? Do I need facial? What do I need to get? Do I need to get a really good pants? Do I need to get, it's going to be a rather pampering and treating yourself, right? I don't know if you can see it. Here is like the kitty in a very, very lush garden over here. And sure, it's like so many intriguing things out there. But Kitty is deciding, you know what, I'm kind of like good where I am. And never mind this little mice going around. But it looks like something will create lure. Also, what is like worth noticing, this is a 9, so 8 of cups is 8. And the tower is 16, 1 and 6 is 7, so 9, 8, 7. So this is the retrograde. I am seeing this retrograde. You're going to be feeling it. There are going to be, so definitely cars. Like most definitely anything, any transportation by air. I would even avoid it. And like this also shows that you might travel somewhere to meet somebody. And it could be a mate, I would say. That is a big no. This is like something that is going to not work out. It's going to be a whole bunch of difficulties. And you're going to arrive to that decision saying, well, this was just not meant to be. Because not so much because of the person, but because of something else. The 8 of Cups is always talking about going away, when kind of like trying to explore. There is a comfort everywhere here, right? There is like a desert, as you see, but this person in the desert has his own kind of like water supply. But the kitty is listening to the shell and listening this other kind of like environments that can be so alluring, and wondering, like, you know, how would it be going there, right? How, like, I mean, do I really envision myself just doing this or not? So it is kind of like, and this is like exactly what it is as well. So this is a safety, but this is like on emotional level, the two very different levels. And so this is fire, this is water, and this is earth. So it's kind of like a mixture of the things that are really happening. So going forward and exploring is actually ending up in some kind of like, I need to sneeze any moment. Where is the sun? There's when you need it, right? So this kind of like talks about some foundation was not there. So if you're moving forward or trying to move forward with something, you need to ask yourself a very simple question. Is this person or that event or that plan shake up your foundation? Because you're pretty happy where you are right now at the end of the September. But there's like something that is really, really going to happen. I really think the attraction toward this person is very spiritual. The story over here is kind of like weird. It's about a card game, and there are like 4 people already at the table. So this woman is calling. I think it's like 3 people at a table or something. So somebody's calling and she's saying, you know what, you know, I'm going to join you, right? So they're like 2, I think it was 1 couple and a woman and a man. And so now everybody assumed that this mysterious woman who is calling is the guest of this man. But how else would she know about this whole thing really happening? And so basically, that's where this mystery was coming in. So that's calling a mysticism. I really think this is one of the weakest stories in the entire book. I just wanted to give it to you. But to me, this really means a little bit different. First of all, So I usually go with the author, and if I agree, I kind of like go with their story. If I disagree, I make up my own story. So what do I see here? I see a flower, I see a rose that is reversed, right over here. So this is almost like a stem, but like, I mean, in the vegetables, this is kind of like that fertile stem over here. The doors are closed and we actually cannot see this person over here. So there is like a receipt of the messages. So there is like some kind of like spiritual breakthrough. This is also purple. It's a third eye card over here, which is really important to understand. Maybe you're ignoring certain things. Why you're ignoring? Because emotionally you're engaged, emotionally you're triggered, emotionally being lured, if you wish, right? You guys are ignoring your intuition. This is Mars. Mars always says, Mars is storm right now that is like raging over here in New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, like this Hurricane Fiona. That's Mars. And it's basically saying, you know what, anything that is not built properly, I'm just going to collapse. And anything that is on my path is going to know that I have been here, right? So after this, you realize I need to build it differently in order to really make it strong. So this also tells me like a little bit about fishy, or at the very least unknown motivation. And it is a journey. I see a journey over here. Maybe some thoughts and ideas and beliefs that you have may collapse. Maybe you're going to become very mystical. Maybe you're going to kind of like dedicate yourself to spend more time meditating, studying this kind of like tarot cards, because on the surface they look superficial, but if you really kind of like study them, it gets really interesting, because everybody can know one card, but when you have to combine the two, which is most of the time you will see combination of a two, but try 3, try 4, try 5, try 10, that's where the complexity and combinatorics kicks in. So, dear Capricorn, that's kind of like your October coming up. I think Chris is not aware, Kylie, that we now have weekly. I think I forgot to tell him last week, but because he kind of like comes on those reversed weeks. So let's see who is next. Let's remove this sign here first for Capricorn. And guys, you throw in your hat in there, and we will go with this one. And I'm going to draw another one for you to guess. What? Nobody's talking? Hello? Hello? Nobody's talking? You're helping me with my energy if you talk. I'm kind of like not only able to pick my energy, but everybody's energy with this. So it really, really is helpful. So guys, do engage, do talk, do comment. Every single reading is your reading. Everybody who is here live is getting their reading in every single reading. You need to understand that like, I mean, signs are really fictional because it's just a simple slice because of our 3D experience, but the messages are 360, so hence we're all getting it because we're on live. Good morning, Creative Guru. How are you doing? So let's see. We have Leo, Aries, Aquarius, Virgo, and, well, Libra. We had Libra, so this is going to be tucked away. This is going to be drawn. We are still intrigued what's coming up. So, for the later. And so let's see. I see a winner. I see a winner. I see a winner. Knitting Yogi won. Congrats. So I'm going to set it aside. And right here, for me, Knitting Yogi. Right, and bonjour. How are you doing? So let's see, Virgo. So it's a double bonus. You're winning and you're getting your sign, isn't that? So let's see. This one wanted to come out. Tower as well. And Guru, Libra, Capricorn, signs red. 6 signs. Yes. Thank you, Barbie. Wow, Virgo, you also have major, but you have 2 majors, but you have 1 karma major. And this is actually really, really interesting. You're starting with the Tower, 7. Then you're going with the consequences, 11. So 11 is never modified, but on a lower scale it would be 2, but 11 is asking of us to be bigger. So 2 is, oh, I want to be in love with another person, right? Nothing wrong about it. It's actually a really cute concept, dedication to one person. But 11 is, I want to be in love with humanity. I need to give myself to humanity. And it's kind of hard because you're watching other people chumming up, holding hands, and your message is much, much, much higher. And then you have a 4 of fire. Oh, wrong deck. Now let's grab this. Timestamp was 30. Thank you. 30. I would say 30 or maybe even 29 and a half. Sorry for missing it. We can check it later. For accuracy, just put a question mark next to it. Huh. I would say this kind of like does remind me of Virgo. So what is really typical for Virgo? We just finished transition of Virgo. So usually when you finish transition, and I put a little fluffy thing, let's do that as well before I forget. Voila. You feel weak, you feel exhausted, you feel you just had a big fitness session and now you just need to chill, but not in a refreshed way, in a kind of like tired way. It's kind of like you forced yourself. You're happy that you accomplished something, but now, okay, everybody leave me alone. You just like unplug. And for Virgo, this also comes as a double whammy sometimes, because for the Virgos that live in Northern Hemisphere, it's also coincides with ending with the beginning of the fall. And it can feel kind of like toned down, even melancholy and possible depression. And I have Mercury in Virgo, and sometimes even I feel it because Mercury is the very first planet to the sun. So I always look at Mercury as almost like daily activities, how you really get affected with communication and so on and so forth, right? So there's like something opening up here with the Tower for you. Something is not being built properly. When something is not being built properly, it just tells you it's going to collapse sooner or later. And do you really want to build House of Cards, or do you really want to fix it and do it right in the first place? This is the card that is always telling us sometimes that we also forget humility. So the story about Tower is about Fool, who is on his spiritual path and who now is seeing this trembling of the earth. Everything is like falling apart, and he's like, why in the world would I continue? Over there at the stage 6, I saw this beautiful naked woman and was like, great. Why would I just like be doing this? And I seen devil and like, well, kind of a thing. So who cares that I'm closed? I don't care. And then he sees a naked woman again. So it looks like, whew, that's a trigger for me, right? And this naked woman tells him, oh, you poor thing. It's just like a freaking perfect thing, that especially for a man, right? Oh, poor thing, would you like a little food? Here's the food for you. Here's a drink. So it's our human tendency when we are good. We don't really feel the humbleness that somebody helped us, right? As he was eating and that nourishment was kicking in, and he was just now not thinking about this like fallen tower and everything burning around him. He's now thinking about this beautiful woman. But as he finishes his eating and he's trying to orient himself where he's all of a sudden realizing that woman is no longer there. And then he looks up and he's seeing her slowly fading away into the night sky, and she's waving at him. She says, you just need to follow your star. You're going to be fine, right? So it is about these bigger motivations. It's about kind of like raising from the ashes. And for you, that star is that whole scenario also means reaching some kind of like equilibrium. But this card has a much bigger meaning. That this means that something in life that previously didn't work or previously was set, maybe they were a set of rules arranged by somebody else, are now getting into the fact that they're actually really working out. So you maybe have to pay your dues, and I think this is like the opening of the sign of Libra is being a little bit disastrous for you. This is a severe Mercury retrograde. This is like Aries. It could be anger. You could be annoyed. It doesn't have to be like extreme of everything, but you can just be annoyed with a whole bunch of things. And then look at that. The kitty is all tangled up and everything, but she is detangling. You are sorting things out, which is like really native to you. And then we have the Four of Fire, and this is like accomplishment. Everything really works out. So this here can also indicate falling in the hole. Are you guys having tendency of always putting others ahead of you? If you do, this card is a really big warning, because this talks about this woman who always wants to help people. She kind of has this tendency to collect all of these people from the street, and by trying to tell them, oh, you know, you're going to go in a business with me via like partners now, she's actually saying that to motivate them, to get them out of this rut, because you see this woman, if I could zoom it, you would see that on the bottle it says vodka. But we do have also black and white a way of watching people in a society. So this one is a saint and this one is a problem, right? But check this out. She's shown as a saint, but she's also shown in shackles over here. So what is really happening here is she doing these things for the right reasons. So if you are not helping others, like undesirably, that you are going to put yourself to the point of ego that doesn't really exist, don't even bother. Because how the story ends here, this person doesn't really get through, because I guess what I would say, if you are not a specialist for the problem this person actually needs, for the resolution of the problem, do not bother. And that's not to be rude, because how the story ends here is this woman here says, you know what, yeah, you know, I don't know if I want to live here. Yeah, you know, how about I take 50% of this money of this business, even though she was just sitting on her hands and drinking, and I go. So she needs to assert herself. The shackles are to say, you know what, there was never a business. I was just trying to get you out, and I'm sorry for not being successful, but it's all I wanted, right? So are you guys giving your time and energy, right, to something, and then you're resenting it? If something is not sustainable, don't even go there. It's very, very important. This is about self-care. You have two majors. You will be guided through a process. You will not have much choice about the matter, and you're going to emerge victorious over here, which is really lovely. But this is also going to be a month of a big awareness and awakening, a release of something, claiming your personal power. So it's going to be a very, very powerful month, my dear Virgo. You have also Mercury in Virgo. Wow. So lots of communication issues now during the Mercury retrograde. So Mercury retrograde must be exhausting. I know. Me too. So we both have this. So that was Virgo. Let me remove this icon here and go back and see, guys, which one do you think this is? When you think this is? Jenny. We just got a little French bulldog. Oh, bulldog. They kind of like adorable, but I wish that people don't adopt bulldogs, because their moms have to have cesarean because they have been bred so badly. But look, now since you're already kind of giving him a home, I really kind of like wish to give him a big hug. That's kind of like cute. Tiger doesn't like bulldogs. No, sorry, let me correct this. He likes the big ones. He doesn't like the small ones. I don't know what is the name, the difference. So what we have here: Aries, Cancer, Leo, Aquarius. We have Pisces. Pisces pushing through. Man, I had a really weird dream. I was like in some kind of like weird town, something small, something very, very provincial, to the point that people will come to the luncheon, and they will give like freaking tickets, like parking tickets and stuff. So I got a ticket that I have a rust in my car. And actually funny, in my real life, I did notice a little bit rust on my car. I was like, ew, like it's just tiny, 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 but maybe it's a warning. maybe simple warning not to go in a situation that can deteriorate, right? Kind of like a thing. So when I say this is Pisces, so the stamp is going to be 4110 for my dear Pisces. So let's start. Oh, he looks like a bat. Ooh, this one wants to come out. Ooh, we have Pisces. This is your card, Moon, but it's reversed. And then we have 4 of this card. Oh, I love this card. And this one I want to kick out. And then we have Temperance or Grace. So you also guys have 2 major arcanas. Are you noticing the pattern in the today's kind of like edition? We kind of like have sort of like some kind of like push through. What this really reminds me of, and I'm keep getting this vision, I keep getting this picture jumping in front of me. It's like a dam, right? Like a dam that only has narrowed exit from the dam, and all this like water is surging toward the dam, and it gets wavy and bulky over there, and it's really surging through. So it almost looks like there's like accumulation of the things that wants to make that breakthrough, wants to kind of like get free, and that's what I'm getting actually for all signs. I don't know, these 2 wanted to stay here, so I'm going to leave them. So confusion and quest. Weirdly, this is also about reaching decisions here. And you know, like if we have 2 indecisive signs in horoscope, that will be Libra and it will be Pisces. And Libra at least can be devil's advocate to their own and debate both sides of the story. But with Pisces, like 2 fishes swimming in the opposite direction, can be very confusing because emotionally it's hard to be on 2 different sides. You cannot, well, in their case, they can love and hate at the same time, or they can love 2 different people at the same time. So this is gets very confusing because processing is really hard, and they cannot explain it because they're living 3D experience. And I'm pretty sure that on the other side, we don't have those limitations, that love is unconditional. You can love everybody, right? So what do I say, guys? You're going to go through a very exhausting part of the month. So I think the end of this transition of so it's the opposite. Are you the opposite? Wait a minute. So no, 9 minus 6. Yes, the Pisces is the opposite. Why did I think it's the Aries? Am I confusing this? 3 and 6 is 9. No, it is. So wasn't this the Pisces moon the last month? So you're the opposite to Virgo. I don't know why I'm not getting this right. So it's a good thing that I'm just doing 6 signs today. So this is your card, guys. As you can see, this like full moon here, and the cat is activating eyes, and cats and owls see more than any other animal, any other creature on this planet. In a pitch dark, they can see, because even the smallest glimpse of light they're able to catch, right? And it's really interesting because cats are still not activated during the night. They're calling them nocturnal animals, but they're really not. I don't know what is the word for it, but you know, at a down when you activate. So that's where basically their time is. And so basically this really shows like, and also like, I don't know if you can see this, like this probably is a moth, not so much a firefly. It could be firefly as well. We see the mushrooms, it's the wisdom. So to me, when I see the moon card, to me the moon card is always about past lives. It's always about ancestors. It's always about you're connecting with ancestors in the wrong way, because in your case it came reversed. Sometimes we think in a very flat way about ancestors. I was guilty of the same issue. You see a picture in your album, my grandmother, my great-grandmother, but you're supposed to just think of them as a person and what they have accomplished within the parameters they had. And that's kind of like the way to think about it, where there's like something amiss for sure. I really think you're really tired, and that's the only really reason, because you are not able to make this connection, and that really drains you, because your entire existence over here is to transition people to the other side and to emotionally process all these emotions so you can understand them better. And it's no wonder that many Pisces are introverts here, and that you really need to kind of like sleep in this lavender field and protect yourself. But then we have the card that is called Grace in this deck, or the Temperance, and it's beautiful Siamese, basically cat, which is an exception because usually they put Siamese in the suit of the swords because they're much smarter than the other cats. And this is a fire. And look at here, we have the rainbow kicking in because of the sun and the water combining. There is this little ledge. The kitty cat is walking fearlessly and kind of like getting what she wants. This talks about patience. And also, if you remember when I talked about this lady being very confused, whose reading was that, Libra, I think, right? Being very confused about which boyfriend to pick. She has one, she's not sure he's the right one, she has a second one. So she's climbing and climbing and climbing that mountain to try to get the clarity. She comes to the top and the fog clears. She sees this like whole surroundings, and she's understanding, oh, well, I'm so clear on the decision that I need to kind of like take right now. And she happily goes to kind of like reclaim it. But you have the additional thing. In your case, you are getting quests. So this will be the crown chakra. It will be like almost like you're guided by God. So this is the other side. You need to connect to the other side. Your batteries are empty. Your plug, your USB plug, your electrical plug is on the other side, right? So here's the oldest woman in town that is really storytelling about, right? And, you know, she always wanted to go across the swamp, and always was the story, you know, that's the allegory of the cave over here that I always pick up. Always stop herself because the stories were too scary, that something is on the other side, but, you know, so it really took a generation for the other people to be more courageous and more adventurous and say, you know what, the swamp has vanished. Now it's just a nice little meadow over here. And, you know, like, I mean, it's kind of like when all your life you're expecting and waiting for something to happen. I will cross the swamp when I get the courage. I will do this when I get this job, when I lose weight, when I do that. And then the life passes you by. So this is kind of like this card that really talks about that, right? Because she all of a sudden gets this understanding, that aha moment, and she's able to travel forward. So for you guys, it is time to take risk. It is really time to kind of like go in a new direction. You need to be open to anything, even if that looks dangerous. And you need to have commitment to your path. Well, I know it's tough. You're swimming in two different directions, and hey, you know which direction to go. But you know what? Whichever fishy goes first, you just be very determined, and the other one will follow. In fact, I just saw a video of two groups of penguins, and when they meet each other, they actually have exchange of communication. And sometimes the penguin wants to change the group because I guess the other group has better ideas. And then the original group kind of like pulls the penguin out and try to ask the penguin to go back. So let's see the new guesses over here. Oh my gosh, I'm on a freaking roll today. Like, why can't I do it each time and I'm having a full reading? It's just like, what's going on? It just feels better. So it's this one. So Lorna said, my moon is in Pisces and I resonate with this. Wow. So glad to see, because that's what I said, like we shouldn't wait for our sign. How do we communicate with the other side? We are communicating through these karma cards, which are either ancestors or people, our higher selves or spiritual guides. So they have to communicate either to somebody who is able to pick up these messages, or they need to communicate through electronics. You'll find pennies, you will find feathers in your place, or something will keep repeating and repeating and repeating until you get it, kind of a thing. So dreams can be another thing. Alrighty, so let's continue. So we have Aquarius, Sagittarius, Aries, Scorpio, Aquarius, Scorpio, and I think Lorna and Kelsey. Whoa, we have two winners this time. Good for you, ladies. I am going to put these two of you. The reading comes after. Kelsey, it was first, and Lorna H. Wow. Did I guess everybody? I did. But good for you. So 3, 5, and this is the last one for today. So let's see. Let's put the Scorpio's little icon over here. A very strong sign. Very strong. Woohoo! Good for you. Let's see, Scorpio. Speaking of communicating from the other side, smell red door perfume very strongly during the Capricorn reading. I don't even know what is red door perfume. Did you guys read that Brad Pitt is coming up with his cosmetic line? I would say good for him, but for $450 a month, Canadian, I prefer to take lots of grapes with resveratrol rather than buying something expensive to rub on my face. I'm never a really big believer of creams affecting your face. It's good to be moisturized, but other than that, whoa, you have 3 of sky. Why is that? Are you Scorpio? Do you have any Scorpios here? Or very like important planets in Scorpio? Are you guys going through some kind of like emotional turmoil? Or you're wondering how something is going to end up? Okay, good news, bad news. Good news is that they are all minor arcanas. Bad news that you feel like you're losing a grip and the things around you, circumstances are creating you bad outcomes, that maybe you feel that there is a leader of the group that you don't necessarily agree with, but you have to follow that routine. And ultimately, you know, you're becoming very protective of yourself and your ideas and the directions in where you're going. So it's kind of like very, very, hey, good morning, Chris. We have Capricorn at, what was this? 11:30? No, it cannot be. Maybe a yogi can tell you. It was really interesting reading. Planning to meet anybody? And good morning. So yeah, we have every week now. So I was thinking you're not showing up because you don't know that we have every week. Ooh, look at that. Look at it. This makes perfect sense. Totally perfect sense. So it could be 2 women in a situation, just as we are seeing here. Everybody is holding their own truth. Everybody is like a little bit angry in the situation. Everybody feels incensed, right? So this is really interesting story, which we all have our own story that can actually describe the same situation. Did you notice that we're getting like today pretty much purple and gray cards? So it will be either third eye chakra or crown chakra, which is really, really interesting, right? So before I get to this balance, which clearly some balance has to be there. So you guys Scorpios are all or nothing, kind of like give me everything or just stay away from me, right? But it's also that's the same thing that is very typical for all fixed signs, because I'm building this. You're either going to give me this break or why the hell are you here, kind of a thing, right? So but Scorpio is a little bit more on the edge, because with Scorpio, their fixedness of Scorpio is, let's see how deep is your love. That's literally their tune. So it shows being hurt over here, and maybe it can be just interpreted from being hurt, like you are like picking up different people and trying to find love, but it's just getting worse because nobody's really if you can see it, lots of kiddies are swimming in this like swimming pool, but there's like a picture of a tiger, white tiger no less, over here on the top, right? Where is my dog? Did I let him out? Tiger! 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 Hold on a second. Did I leave my dog locked outside? Oh no, he's here. Sorry, Tiger. He's like, waking up like, what, sorry puppy, sorry. Sometimes like my forgetfulness. So Scorpio, you just simply are not going to find yourself. Like you're healing your pain. You are you're doing what people do when they need to lick their wounds, right? You're kind of like keeping to yourself. Then after this excursion out, you just don't want to deal with anybody. You just don't want to engage. Like you are hurt. You're really hurt here. I'm really sorry to hear this. But this card here has an interesting story to tell. So it talks about a very small town actor, and this is not meaning that he was a bad actor. In fact, he was a great actor, so great that this town just loved him. They just come to every show on everything that was organized, and they were so proud about him. They were so proud that they, in such a small place, they can experience something so great. However, every story kind of like has, every person has an ambition. So one day the play that he was playing at was attended by an agent from Hollywood who felt, oh my gosh, I need to sign this person up. This is freaking amazing. So she goes, sits down with him, explains to him that she's going to seek his roles in Hollywood, and he's so happy. And then something switches in his character, where up to this point he was like unreservedly giving to that local public. At this stage now he's like thinking about the great success and fame, and he just doesn't care about the villagers or like towners, whatever you want to call them. And everybody's like resenting, everybody's like a little bit kind of incensed as he's packing his suitcases. Like he's calling this agent, oh, okay, which role did you find for me? So she tells him, you know what, like, I mean, it takes time to secure a role. Like there's like nothing in the wings yet. So we just kind of like need to kind of like work toward it. So there's like this dreams versus reality scenario here that you're really dealing with, which is just here as well. Maybe you were in love with a dream. And Scorpio basically has this tendency. It's just like whoever they love, they put this person on a pedestal, and nobody kind of like is able to kind of like measure this up. So Scorpio gets disappointed a lot as a result. And this also tells me about chasing some kind of illusions, and maybe a little bit compulsive behavior, I really have to say. So maybe you're like too result oriented over here instead of going with the flow. Come on, you're like water sign, allow that flow to really happen. And I really think what you need to do here is like being courteous, allowing support, giving is very important, as much as like recognizing yourself. All of that really matters. A little bit, I don't know why I'm getting this, could be a little bit health issues as well, possibly caused by something that is not resolved, something that needs to be pushed out of this body. But Scorpio, just allow yourself to grieve if you have to grieve. Allow yourself to be alone. Nothing wrong about it. You don't have to feel guilty, right? Because you have air, you have water, you have earth. So you have three different elements, which is really good enough for you to get grounded. So you will maybe bounce off different situations, but ultimately you need to get in balance. And in balance is understanding other people, understanding that other people maybe contributed to your situation, but also that maybe it's interesting. I guess this one also show up for you. Hello, check this freaking out. Check this out. It's kind of like telling the truth is somewhere in the middle, right? It's the balance, balance and balance and balance. So Libra for you, big just preparation for your birthday. It's interesting. On the other side of our birthday, we are very tired, but coming up and preparing from our birthday, we are very ambitious. We really want to do the things. So in your case, it might feel a little bit taking back. So keep this in mind. Kind of like this might not really happen properly. And already, guys, we are going to the last sign for today. The first part of the readings. I don't even know if I can edit this. Or can I edit it here? Let me see here. Kilber messages part 1. Here. Part 1. So we have this. Amazing what this lets me edit right while I'm doing this. So let's see, guys, who is going to guess. We have Aries over here. Let me just, I thought I removed the sign. I guess I didn't. Anybody else? Anybody else? Come on, guys. Come on, guys. He's just waking up. I woke up and I realized the storm came and went. It was a really good feeling, like, well, the hurricane. Its storm is still kind of here. It's wind. It's nothing really worrisome right now. There we go. We have Aries, we have Leo, Cancer, Leo, Aquarius, and who's of Cancer? Barbie. Let me just put Barbie here. Lots of winners today. Lots of winners. So we have Knitting Yogi first, then Kelsey, Lorna, and Barbie. So I'm going to finish Cancer. And when I finish Cancer, we will go into the readings for you. And we're going to kiss each other for this rendezvous. So, and I don't know, I have to just keep them separately. Otherwise, I'll completely forget which ones we read until the next time. Well, let's put them here. So, the stamp is 1 hour and 1 minute. That's the stamp over here. So, let's do this. Cancer. And I dreamt my ex-husband had some Mercury retrograde to you like many years ago, and in two nights in a row, and I never dreamt about him all my whole life. And in the first dream, he was like, you know what, we need to revisit all the times that we have lost. And I was like, iffy, because yeah, I don't know if kind of like I would like to renew anything with him. I'm not a bad guy, just leave the things in the past. In the second dream, we kind of like ended up sleeping together, and I'm like, oh shit, what did I get myself into it? But I'm very pragmatic nature, so let's kind of like make it work, kind of a thing. And I said, because he's Cancer, I'm expecting that emotional thing. And he says, well, you know, I do love you a little bit. And I said, what does that mean? He said, I love you 3%. And I started laughing in the dream, and I said, whoa, at least you love me kind of a little bit. So that was really weird. That's kind of like my Mercury retrograde dreams. Somebody loves me 3%. So it's better than nothing, right? So my dear Cancer, what do we see here? You have 10 of Earth. You have 3 of Sea. You have Earth Queen. So 10 of Pentacles, 3 of Cups, Earth Queen. So you're going to feel very grounded, I was just about to say happy. The happy was already rolling down my tongue when I got this card. And something is going to affect your happiness. Oh my God, I can't even explain this card because it always makes me cry. It always makes me tear up. So try to kind of like keep my composure over here. Because this here, it almost like possibly is talking about something you're going to observe. Because it's so not connecting to this. It doesn't have anything in these cards that would lead to this. I just don't see it. Did I not say the stamp? I think 1 hour and 1 minute was the timestamp. Sorry, Knitting Yogi. So what do I see here? 10 of Earth is like the ultimate happiness. Things work at home. You feel connected with your family. You visit your parents. You visit your brothers and sisters. Friends are all there. Like, it just works. It just, nothing is awkward. Nothing is standing out. It's like all good. Even though this card also can ultimately talk about, and that could be the only meaning, and I'm so sorry if this is like your case, this can talk about inheritance. It can be like when family gathers because somebody's expected to pass on, and this could be the friends supporting you and people from different walks of life who are not necessarily your clan coming through. So this would be the inside core, this would be outside core, And this would be like somebody pulling this whole system together, which I think it's you. I think this represents you, this Earth Queen. Somebody who is poised, somebody who is resourceful, somebody who knows. And I think it could be that there is some kind of loss, because you're the only one today who got a card that was not purple um, or gray. So green is the heart chakra that is being affected. So it's kind of like transitioning from this point in our heart that is like killing us, and it's not allowing this flow of emotions, to understanding that, you know what, our heart is always going to keep you there. You're always going to be, oh my gosh, there you go. I'm becoming emotional Aquarius. Slap, slap, slap. You're always going to be there for me. I get this way whenever I see on Instagram or Twitter people talking about losing their pet. So it's just like inconceivable for me. So what is preventing you from progress, my dear Cancer? There is like some kind of blockage. Either this is you, or you might lose some very meaningful, I would say, mother figure, even if this is like a man, but it's a mother figure. It's somebody who provided nurturing of some sort, and you're missing somebody. There is like this grief happening, but there is also talking about this as a temporary situation for you to understand the depth of your love. So you need to allow yourself to be vulnerable. These are very pragmatic cards, but this is like a very vulnerable card, and so is this one. It's about you, and this is really hard for Cancer. Like you're the sign that experience emotions so deeply, but you cannot express them. So this is kind of like where it becomes very difficult to communicate. Like my ex-husband was telling me about his emotional states 2 years later, where I couldn't even possibly remember what the hell was the situation. And he was telling me vividly how things are, and he's not a stupid guy or a confused guy. And he had Aries rising, and that was like where the connection, I guess, was. But that processing that takes time to actually sort out every element, you have to wonder, because this little crab walking down in the sea with all of these sands moving, I guess needs to know everything in being in a place. And yet, when it's time there, like they're really quick to make these things. So guys, allow yourself to be vulnerable. Allow yourself to have this big heart. Like, it's the fear of you collapsing. It's the fear, I guess, maybe kind of like this is also very much a Cancer card, kind of like channeling you. It kind of like experiences like deep emotions. With Scorpio, whenever I channel Scorpio, it almost like feels like spite. It's not a pain. With Scorpio, it's really never pain. Even when they feel pain, it's a spite. With Cancer, I feel a little bit kind of like different here as well. So, you know, this is a strength of character, and strength of character is very inherent in true love. So, you know, like this is heralding some kind of like deep caring and ability to heal and love again. Maybe it was a period of time that was like blah for you, that you were just living, but not really opening yourself out, and now it's basically something new happening in front of you, right? So maybe you have been going through troubled times that you needed family and friends to lean on, but now I think it's going to be smooth sailing right ahead of you. So we are going to have, sorry Cancer, big hugs, kind of like really understand what is going on. So we are going to go next into getting the card for everybody. I just want to get a different deck, given that how emotional this was. Let me just remove the Cancer here. Which deck do I get from you? Okay, this one is handy. So let's do this one. Who was the first one here? Was it Knitting Yogi? I think so. Okay, Knitting Yogi. The card for you is, ooh, the Magician. Every freaking thing is possible. He says, magic is alive in your life. What you need to be a success will manifest. If you believe it, you can do it. So it reminds me on that movie, Field of Dreams. Watch this movie. This is literally what I'm feeling right now that I want to describe for you. You dream it, they will come. Kind of like, I don't know if I said the sentence properly from the movie, that is like, I mean, the baseline, that you're building something, you have all the tools, everything is possible. There's like this rainbow dust here. So you are unstoppable right now. Just use this opportunity to move forward. It's a major arcana. It's also not something that is like, yeah, you're just going to be fine, go and have a beer. No, it's something very, very important. Kelsey, you're next. Kelsey, my lady. I'm on the wrong screen here, and you have something here reversed, and that would be the King of Pentacles. It does say here things that are only for the upright, because this deck generally, because it shows, no, does it show? Yeah, that shows what is up and down. But I'm going to read it as the King reversed. So be careful with your spending right now, right out of the gate, because you might be tempted to spend some money on, and it's not necessarily that expenditure. It's more or less how many of these small expenditures will add up later. And you need to really ask yourself what is needed, what is not needed at this stage. This can also indicate a person who appears to be the good, like, what do we say, good on paper, but generally not a person who has a genuine interest in you. This is a person who is very shrewd, who is trying to always measure. There's always measurement. Is she measuring up instead of really feeling the feelings? And you need to stop trying to earn this person's, I don't know, attention, love, whatever it is. So this can be a boss, doesn't have to be a boyfriend. This can be a female boss as well, so don't think about in the gender stage. But it could be somebody who is a personal friend, parent, or something. Pulling back and calling your own strength is going to be very, very important over here, because somebody is not what they are saying and pretending to be. So let's go next one. If you build it, they will come. That's correct. Kevin Costner. Then we have Lorna H. Lorna H, are you in the house? Let's see, Lorna H. What we have here is, ooh, Five of Swords. And actually, this is much better interpretation than in the regular deck. Well, in a sense, like here, it's almost like a better explanation than in any other deck I've ever seen. Because Five of Swords generally like talk about Pyrrhic victory. Do you know what Pyrrhic victory is? When you win against somebody who is really not a competitor. You win a game of chess against a 2-year-old, right? And then you go, I won. So it's a silliness of the victory claim in itself, right? But look at this, in this deck, they're gambling. It's a fair game. Maybe he cheated. Maybe that's a possibility to say. So what it says, an unwise choice. There is a better way that will make you happier. Avoid people who lack integrity or who have questionable motives. So you might be the winner over here, but you need to remind yourself what the real win is. The real win is like when everybody wins, meaning you always have to appear, at the very least give some idea of that appearance that you are just a lucky receiver at this moment. So the other side doesn't feel that bad. So it's very important to actually think about the other side of the equation when this card shows up. Or you might be a loser, in which case it's really telling you, really, you're taking this seriously, you should take it as a boost. You should take it that they're like people like that, and that you simply have to stay away from them. And if this is your boss, I feel sorry for you, but I would be starting to look elsewhere, because you cannot win against a person like that, right? Somebody who is just programmed to only circulate around themselves. It's a very narcissistic person that you possibly have in your life, or somebody who just exclusively watches their self-interest. This is absolute disaster if it comes to personal relationships, because it's somebody who is playing on many, many different fields, somebody who has finger with different partners as well, and somebody who is really not engaging with anybody. So give yourself a pat on the shoulder that you love yourself, that you want to kind of like do better for yourself and stay away from these kind of people. And I really, really hope this helps. Kelsey said, I was just thinking that I need to cool it with the impulse buys. Ha ha. Ha ha. Very interesting. And sugar comes last. Barbie. Barbie. I love your little kind of like winner's cups here, Barbie. Nice choice. So let's see. This is not easy to even shuffle this deck. Look, it just doesn't even want to go in. Just thing. I'm retiring after this week. What do you mean you're retiring after this week? You're like officially retiring? Retiring? Wow. Freaking awesome. Like, just enjoy your freaking, is that like a main pension, or you decided this is over? Because it's your birthday, right? Coming up. So when is your birthday? I have to look it up, but happy early birthday. Lorna, this is definitely work related. Thank you. I can stay in my own lane. Yeah, that's why it is. Even at that, you're going to be squished. Be really, really careful. So let's go, Barbie. Oh, I see. Awesome, Barbie. Look at that. You're the queen of fire here, Barbie. It says brilliant. Oh my gosh. Imagine like we have to have recording. I will make you know what? Why don't I have it? How is this possible that I don't have it? Just me write it down. How do I not have recordings where I'm going to read stuff like that you can come and listen? And this is like right now what I want you to do is to close your eyes and imagine that I'm reading to you, even though this is reading for Barbie, but imagine I'm reading this to everybody. And this is what it says. You are brilliant, talented, independent, controlling. There's nothing you can't do. You need to believe in yourself. Never underestimate your ability to make your dreams come true. The need for balance between career and personal life. Isn't this amazing? Like we just don't give enough of that self-talk. And you know, it's a very clear. I was watching last night the doctor. I think it's called Joe Dispenza, if I'm remembering well. He's one of those spiritual teachers. He was talking about how I think he's a medical doctor actually. So clearly he's talking about connection of our negative thoughts with disease, where we have negative thoughts, how this kill gene simply kicks in, and then everything generates on that line. So he was trying to see if the opposite works, if we start having positive thoughts, that we are not only reversing this, but we also getting on a different path. And he found that yes, it does work. So it's how we create our destiny. So this positive self-talk and believing in ourselves is very important. So Queen of Wands is a mover and shaker. She's actually a lawyer as well. Hello, Barbie. And she's also somebody who is very aggressively going toward her goals. This is why it says controlling, and this is why it says the balance between career and personal life. So you're very focused on knowing your lawsuit over here, and in your case I do understand. And in your case I would just say really, you really need to think in these terms. You need to do the meditations daily and be positive in order to create this reality. So I really kind of like hope. So this weekend is your last. Oh my gosh, I'm so freaking envious. I want to retire so bad. This is like the worst part. It's just kind of like after this pandemic, I just don't feel like doing, the normal job. It's just like so weird. Things have changed, and you're the lucky one that you can actually make this reality. Yeah, October 15th. I guess you're going to take vacation, and then it's official. So October 18th, supposed to rule. Ooh. Oh my gosh, this is freaking amazing. Around your birthday, when your energy is the highest, you are lucky. And we are officially out of Mercury retrograde. So this is also very good. So you know what? Today I really took my sweet time. And so when I don't have to roll out 12 signs, I don't know if maybe you should do it in the future. Like it's food for thought, how to do it. Doors. Hello, how about the doors? Let me do that. And the stamp would be 1940. 1940 would be the stamp for doors. So let me just do door number 1, door number 2, and door number 3. Okay, guys, think about it. Think about it. Focus your energy. I'm feeling you guys. I'm feeling your energy. And here we are. Voila. Here we are. Let me see. Ask your yes or no. Barbie, I'm so happy. I'm picking up your thing. Like, no more messing up. So I hope you're going to continue with us being our moderator. I hope you're not going to forget this. Like, this will be so much more fun where you don't have to take care of somebody while we're on the live. I think it's going to be really amazing. So, guys, the door number 1, which was like the one I picked, I didn't see any one of them, is Ace of Swords. Oh my gosh. This card is so amazing. It's the what do you call it, Sword in Stone. I haven't seen this cartoon in such a long time. I want to watch it so badly right now. Why don't they make these movies in French? Because right now I'm pushing myself so hard and I'm not on this level. I'm pushing myself to be in this level. So I'm thinking myself being in a different level. So we'll see how it goes. So this is a yes. This is also karmic card. It's going to be a big switch. It says brilliant ideas that may need refinement, overcoming obstacles. Let me just put my glasses because I have contacts and then I cannot read with these contacts for some reason. Overcoming obstacles with faith that everything will work out. Communicate clearly and concisely. Remain objective. But this is a big yes. This is like achieving something impossible, something that looks all stretched, etc. So of course, awesome, because I saw a message retracted. Oh. And then the door number 2 is like King of Pentacles. This is yes, this might be relating to money or some men or something. So somebody is really interested in you. Somebody really has you as somebody who is on a pedestal, because these guys, Pentacles, are very choosy. They look for everything: beauty, assets in the bank, educational background. They literally, you have to look good on the paper, you have to look good in the reality. It's very, very high demand. We are living on this 3D, and this is why we're obsessed with, since Roman times, with how we look. On the other side, not important. And we have number 3, Kylie. Ooh, we have a reversal of Eight of Swords, which is really good. The gate is opening right now. You're removing the blindfold. It says the illusion of entrapment. You are not having this illusion. You're very clear. You're saying to yourself, let the chips fall. Whatever it is, it is. A lack of self-confidence that make you feel helpless, but no longer. You're like finding your spine. You're moving forward. Being afraid to take action. You're no longer afraid. Take responsibility for your life now. And you are doing that. You are opening some gateways over here for yourself, guys, for something that maybe appeared to be shut down for you. Maybe it felt there was a segment of your life, and this is like thoughts, right? We're talking swords, we're talking words, we're talking thoughts. You heard of Trump saying that he can declassify things by thinking. It's like literally only air sign can say that. Yeah, I thought about it. So because sometimes we don't even communicate everything we say because there's just so much happening in our heads. So I can see this happening. I don't support a guy, but it's just amazing to see an air sign who is a typical air sign, kind of like doing that. Even though I think he has a Leo ascendant, which makes him want to be in the spotlight and everything. So I hope, who was this? Yeah, that was the doors. And so I hope, guys, we enjoyed it. Like, I mean, this was actually very pleasant. I feel I didn't rush through any sign. I really have to reconsider how I'm reading this, because I usually get very exhausted. And like getting like 12 signs through me, it's lots of channeling. Actually, I'm feeling much better. I was like feeling so tired before I started, but I'm feeling so much better now. And I had lovely company here with so many of you, which is lovely to see you, everything. So Knitting Yogi said, ask if my yoga business will be successful. Which one did you pick? 3? Yes, because they're like you're removing some kind of like boundaries. Something was blocking you, and fear, like the 8 of things is fear. It's always like the other part is involved, depending on somebody else. Now it's like, pardon my language, fuck it, I'm doing it, kind of a thing. It's self-determination and like feeling really energized about it, right? So I couldn't choose. I needed 1, 3. So they are both positives, 1 and 3. So Barbie 1 is like resounding success. I was like, when I saw it, and I asked, I'll tell you, I asked, will I find like, I mean, or win some money or find some money that I can retire like now, kind of a thing. And like, and I saw this card, I said, whoa, really? It's in the cards, literally? Okay, good, we'll see. So, guys, I will see you next Saturday. We are continuing the other 6 signs. They're going to be only 3 times guesses next time because they're like less in a book. So which ones are left over? Who we didn't have? We don't have Aries, we don't have Taurus, we don't have Gemini, we don't have Leo, we don't have what? Oh yes, Sagittarius, and we don't have Aquarius. So these are the 6 signs being read the next time. So Aries, Taurus, Gemini. So Gemini is important and Aquarius is important because they're relating to Libra. So yeah, it was interesting because everybody should check the sun sign of that month because they carry the energy. So just to see also how they fit. My ladies and my gentlemen, have a beautiful, beautiful time for the following week. Let's hope we get some Indian summer over here because it's just so bad right now. I hope that where you are it's better. Lorna has 95. Heck, you cannot beat that one, right? And until the next time, I'm going to miss you. Have an amazing week, and I love you all. Talk to you soon. Bye.